Hey guys, it's Trinity and I am back today with another video, and today's topic is how to audition. And I chose this topic because, contrary to popular beliefs, the way to a contract is not through a perfect audition. So I have 7 main points and I'm just going to get right into them. I wrote them down, so if I keep looking down, that's why. Number 1, the directors that you're auditioning in front of, they already have something in mind, right? And they may have something very specific in mind, like looking for maybe men or maybe women, maybe one man, one woman, or maybe someone who can fit a certain size costume or has a certain aesthetic. But beside all of that, always be you. A director can think that they're looking for one thing, but once they see your beautiful self walk into the room, they're like, you know what? I'll make an allowance for that one. So that is my first point. Number 2, auditions aren't just about being a great dancer. So the people who are in the room auditioning you are also looking to see how well you take direction and how well you take correction. I know a lot of times we can get into these rooms and we feel like, oh, I have to be so perfect. I have to be so perfect. Like I can literally make 0 mistakes, which is impossible. And I mean, you may have a great audition, but the fact of the matter is it's about more than just being a perfect dancer. I think directors actually enjoy when they can see the humanity of the people that are in front of them. And I think a lot of times you can see that when you're given a correction and you're applying the correction, or they get to see how you're applying that correction, or when you ask questions. So just remember that. Number 3, auditions are not the only ways to get contracted. Yes. So whether that is as a guest artist for a company or whether you are trying to become a full-time artist, auditions are not the only way that you can fill these positions. And I have been so blessed to have been a product of this very point while I was in college and even outside of college. And so let's name some ways. Networking through word of mouth, your reputation preceding you, through having great work ethic, through people knowing different people. So just always keep that in mind. Number 4, please allow yourselves to make mistakes. It is okay to make mistakes. As I just mentioned for point number 3, directors want to see that, because guess what? When you get that job, you're not going to be a person that doesn't make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, so allow yourself to make those mistakes. Point number 5, be fully present. And I know dancers, you have heard this numerous amounts of time, but treat the audition like a class. And let me tell you, I think that is one thing that we have heard often. Treat the audition like a class.
Treat the audition like a class. Treat the audition like a class.
But we're like, okay, how do we really do that? Stay present. Please do not walk into an audition and put yourself on autopilot. Like, okay, I know we're doing tendus, I know we're doing dégagés, I know we're doing primitive squats, roll downs, flat backs, so I'm just going to go. Allow yourself to be present and honestly treat it like a master class. When you're in a master class, you're very attentive. You're like, what is something new that I can learn? So I think the one thing that a lot of people don't know, and I think oftentimes it is not presented this way. Auditions most times are presented as this fear thing. Like you have to be perfect, like, oh my gosh. And it can instill so much anxiety, and that is the very opposite of how you want to feel when you go inside an audition. You want the presenters, the directors, instructors, the board members to see you in all of your essence. In other words, you want them to see your best self. So that includes making mistakes. That includes really being attentive and taking in everything. So yes, always keep that in mind. Be fully present in your auditions. Point number 6, if you feel like you did not have your best performance in one section of the audition, make it up to yourself in another section. So I can remember feeling like oh my gosh, like that was so terrible. And you know, you can kind of get into this funk for the rest of the audition and you're just feeling blah. No, make it up to yourself, because guess what? Once you start working in the professional realm, you're gonna have off days. We all have them. And on those off days, you'll be like, oh, girl, like, what you doing? Boy, what you doing? You know? But I think the audition is a perfect way for the director to at least see a little tidbit of who you are and how you handle yourself under pressure. And it also gives them a chance to see how you can possibly and potentially handle yourself on stage. Because if something goes wrong on stage or you make a mistake, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to break down? Are you going to be like, you know? So that's just something to think about. Point number 7, dance for you. I'm going to say that again. Dance for you. Do not lose your passion. Do not go into these auditions being robotic, but bring all of your life. Even if you make mistakes, still smile. Bring your best poised. Bring your best alignment. Bring your best self. Be friendly. Just really, even if you walk into a room that's super intense, you can still lighten up the room with how you decide to take the audition. And I think a lot of that, or most of that, maybe comes from your passion, and it really does come across when you dance. So yes, guys, I hope that these points really helped you. I hope that someone will take this in and just try to internalize them and really think about them, and maybe compare them to some old auditions that you've had, or maybe you have an audition coming up. I pray that this was super helpful. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.